we go.
Just what are we facing here?
A relic of the old world. Ready your men, Captain. We will only get one chance. And remember, when you hear the whispers, call for help. Do not attack.
When you hear the
Oh,
whispers,
dude, that looks incredible.
what do you think he was on about?
It's Dorman, right?
Yeah.
Then Dorman, shut your damn mouth. Why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Hey, the kid's got a mean cleave. Give him a chance.
Quiet.
Fire arrow to see in the dark. Nope. Never mind. Oh. Oh, yes, the sorcerer. Completely torched.
A mean cleave, eh, Captain? Rookie can't even lift his own sword. Captain Oren?
Uh-oh.
Captain?
The cap's gone.
It's here. Rain! Send the signal!
What the fuck?
Rain!
Yes! That's Path of Exile for you.
On my back, Rookie. Blade up!
Come on, come on. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Watch, he's just going to unleash.
It's a man.
No, it's not.
Oh, what the hell is that? Is it a wanderer? Whoa. Oh!
Captain! Captain! Captain!
Dude, the rookie just killed his own captain! Oh! Wait. Is he alive?
Stop! Humanity isn't ready.
On your feet, lad.
Sir, the captain,
You'll be fine.
Wait,
Here.
did the captain just die? Did he just get stabbed? What's happening? Whoa. Oh boy. Oh, it's gonna jump out at his face, isn't it? Wait. The captain just slit his throat. Oh, he's sacrificing him.
Get the body.
Stop. Mortal
Oh, I needed to smell the blood.
can still be contained. You don't know what you have unleashed.
Your kind no longer control this world. We cannot destroy your body, it's true. But you will watch as we destroy everything you have built.
Oh,
Bind him!
oh shit.
Feed. Grow, my child. I'll make sure you can eat your fill.
Oh, what the hell? Wow. Dude. How epic was that? Holy. Exile stepped up their game, bro. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, that was incredible. Okay, they got full on Blizzard style cinematics now, man. Holy crap. Oh, that was, yeah. That was badass. Yeah, that was incredible.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, game director on Path of Exile 2.
Jonathan Rogers, a legend.
Path of Exile 2 is going into early access in around 2 weeks on December the 6th. But even though it's early access, this isn't just some small taste. The game is huge. In this live stream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect. So without further ado, let's roll the gameplay trailer.
Oh, just like that.
Is a thing of beauty.
Right into it.
Precious, but impermanent. Life and death are mortal enemies, and yet bound to one another.
What
the continuation of life must be protected.
Their heads are all chained together.
At all costs. Some have said, my methods are brutal. To this, I say, there can be no salvation without sacrifice.
Oh, that transition is so sick. Wow. Oh yeah, that's the starting screen when you choose your class. Everyone has a noose around their neck. Wait. Is that a source transformation? Or maybe a witch transformation? Wait, what did...
We are faced with the
so
end,
much just happened.
And I will do what I must.
Looks like the Atlas is back. Oh, yeah. Oh, what is... Oh... Yo, is that the new Atlas? Sorry, chat. Wow.
Those who obsess with death, let them soon be acquainted with it.
What?
Now, as you just saw, even in early access, Path of Exile 2 is a big game. It's actually been...
What? Dude. Okay, Grinding Gear Games knows how to do announcements. They know what the players want. They start off with a badass cinematic, followed up by an introduction by Jonathan, right into a gameplay trailer that was insane. Okay, this is what devs need to do. This is what game companies need to do. When you showcase a game, that is how you do it, man. Looks like what Diablo should have been. Oh, I mean, yeah. Where does I didn't even think about what is Diablo thinking right now? What are the devs thinking right now? That just blew Diablo out of the water. Like a whole different level. Wow. How Blizzard follows up on that? I don't know. Wow. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah. Blizzard devs punching themselves right now. Punching air. Holy smokes. That looks insane. Okay. Let's keep her going.
5 years since we announced PoE 2. And over that time, we've revealed a lot.
Wow, it's been 5
but it's been
years?
in bits and pieces. It's pretty hard to keep track of it all. So today we're going to do a full rundown of all the content that will be available at the start of early access.
Wow.
Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a full overview of the endgame. This is going to be a big one, so get
full
comfortable.
Overview.
For 20 years,
smokes.
Rayclast has been free from any sources of corruption. But the Count of Ogham, tempted by promises of power, intends to harness it once more.
This
The
is
dead
20
are
years?
rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading. Under the
my
dark
God.
influence of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him. And this is where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2. Explore the dark forests of Ogham, traverse the barren plains of the Vasteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Vaal city.
Utsal.
There are challenging monsters, hidden rooms, lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants, and of course, unique bosses. No two areas are the same.
This looks incredible,
It
man.
falls to you to track down the seed of corruption, the source of all this devastation.
Seed of corruption.
On the
Oh
way,
my-
you'll face fearsome monsters, meet strange characters, forge unlikely bonds, and uncover lost civilizations.
Sweet.
But first, you'll need to pick a class. Now, Early Access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a
only
fast
6?
and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of
that's a lot.
combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
Ah, looks like he's got some ice skills.
To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a
Uncut
skill gem
skill
will
gem.
open the gem cutting menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2. You can choose an existing skill to level up, or choose to engrave a new one. Since this is a level 7 skill gem, even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level 7, so there's no harm in trying out something new.
Oh, that's
The
sweet.
monk primarily uses the quarterstaff. There are 3 schools of martial arts: lightning, ice, and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one.
Oh,
The
wow.
best combos
That
are
looks-
going to involve mixing elements of all 3. Let's try killing Palm.
Oh, he actually looks
Like
pretty
many
fun.
monk skills, this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific
Whoa.
situation. If there's an enemy on low
leaped
life,
off the
you
staff.
can use Killing Palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide a power charge. Then we can use a different skill to consume that power charge for a much more devastating attack. The monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example, is a skill that places a giant resonating bell. Hitting the bell causes it to ring, dealing damage to all enemies around it. You can also do things like freeze or shock the bell, which will add elemental damage to the strikes. The monk also has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy is close to being stunned, you can use Staggering Palm to punch them down. After that, any attack you do will shoot out wind projectiles.
What?
There are 21 active skills for quarterstaves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing
Dude,
from
look at
pack
that
to pack,
staff.
spewing projectiles and
Holy.
obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo attacks.
Oh, dude, that looks incredible.
Now, if you like a style of melee that's a little slower but hits much harder, then the warrior is for you. He
Oh, that's
pounds the ground
badass.
with big chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with large amounts of armor. Even though the mace slams are slow, you never lose control. Longer attacks can be retargeted as you go, and if you find
Oh,
yourself
what?
committed to a long attack, you can dodge roll out of it at any time.
Oh, wow.
Among the skill option for maces,
Okay.
you will find a variety of slams, fire attacks, war cries, and shield skills. Here, I'm going to slam the ground, rending it apart with lines of fire. Any slam skill will then cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run through them with a skill like Stampede to do huge amounts of damage.
No way.
The warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill.
Oh,
Seismic Cry, for
nice.
example, will double any slams from your next attack.
Yeah.
The Stampede counts as a slam, so I can double that for even more craziness.
This is just
If you want to go a little faster and be a
Unreal.
little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells.
what?
While holding up your shield, your stun meter will build as you take damage, so be careful. If it reaches 100%, your stance will break and you will be vulnerable.
That was right behind
Some
my,
enemies
uh,
also
my
have
camera.
unblockable attacks, which are indicated
It's
by
right-
this
right
red
beside the
flash.
health bar.
If you see one of these coming, make sure to dodge out of the way. Using a shield also gives you access to shield skills, like Shield Charge, which allows you to charge towards enemies and stun them.
Wow.
While charging, you're also blocking the whole time, so you have full damage immunity from the front.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
The warrior also has access to totems. Some totems have built-in abilities like Shockwave Totem, which can be placed to stun nearby enemies and trigger aftershocks like those from the earthquake. But you can also get ancestral warrior totems, which allow you to use any slam skill in your repertoire. This is a meta skill, which means that it's a skill you can put other skills into. I can take a slam like Sunder and socket it into my ancestral warrior totem. Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and slam the monsters from a distance.
What, you're totem slamming?
There are 20 active skills for maces, so there's a lot more to try out. But by
Actually, I
endgame,
can't
you're going to
remember
be
if that was
dropping
a
hammers
PO
from the sky,
POE
moving
one or not.
fearlessly into combat, and separating the very earth you stand on.
Wow.
Time for some ranged attacks.
Oh yeah,
The ranger
here we
is
go.
primarily about
Love
the
my
bow,
ranger.
but we wanted to make sure that she feels agile as well. In PoE 2, you can shoot while moving. Combined with all the skills the ranger has that allow you to jump around, you will have a lot of mobility in combat. Bow skills have a variety of lightning,
looks
poison,
awesome.
ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce around between targets. You can also stick lightning arrows in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat.
I did see a little bit of this in the previous teasers.
Ice attacks allow you to slow and freeze enemies to keep them away from you.
Nice.
Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar, but also grow some interesting plants.
Wait,
With
what?
21 bow skills and all the mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation. By endgame, you'll be creating hundreds of arrows, be they falling from the sky, bouncing around between enemies, or spraying out of
chain
tornadoes.
lightning. Oh,
You might have noticed in the
Yes.
bottom left of the screen that the flask slots look a little different. In PoE 2, you
hold on, chat. I'm blocking that. Should I sit over here? Hold on. We're gonna go back.
have one bouncing around between enemies or spraying out of tornadoes.
He's talking about the flasks that I was behind.
You might have noticed in the bottom left of the screen that the flask slots look a little different.
Yeah, there's only
In
two.
PoE 2, you have one dedicated life flask slot and one mana flask slot.
Okay.
Flasks gain charges as you kill enemies, and typically allow you to heal 6 or 7 times if they're full. But that's not the only thing you can use
Oh,
charges
okay.
for. Charms are a new item type that will automatically defend you from various debuffs or damage types. Having trouble with getting frozen? Equip a Thawing Charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen.
Oh, that's
To
pretty
recharge them,
sweet.
just kill more monsters.
Oh, so
You
that's
can
to
gain
take
more
over
slots for
the
charms by
flask,
upgrading your belt.
stats.
The Mercenary
pretty
wields
cool.
a crossbow that can be loaded with different ammo types, offering versatility, power, and mobility.
Oh yeah.
All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow, you will find skills that work like shotguns,
What?
sniper rifles, assault rifles, and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are
Can we just take a second to breathe here? Holy smokes, dude. I don't think we've ever had a class like that in an ARPG. Oh yeah, there's so much information just getting shot at us all at once. This is crazy. Okay, so this is the Mercenary that uses crossbows, and they're pretty much guns from the sounds of it here. Wow, this is K-Machine. Well, before today, K-Machine said that this was probably his #1 pick. I'm curious to see what his #1 is after today's stream. But let's continue here. I'm gonna go back here.
shooter. For the crossbow, you will find skills that work like shotguns, sniper rifles, assault rifles, and even grenade launchers.
That's
But not only
sweet.
that, there are a wide variety of more interesting elemental
shoot.
ammos too. It's very fast
Okay.
to switch between ammo types, so long as you already have them loaded, which makes the Mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
Wow.
Use Glacial Bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to Fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage.
What?
If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down.
What was that?
Or
a rogue
perhaps I could
exile?
fire a gas
Or was that
grenade
just a
to poison
normal
enemies
mob?
before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage.
I was just a normal mob.
If you want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in.
Oh man.
There are 22 active skills for crossbows. By endgame, you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun. If you're looking to take a backseat and let your minions do the work, then the witch should be your choice.
Yes,
she can
dude.
call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies. Occult skills are some of the most varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells, specialty minions, curses, and sacrificial magic.
The frames dropped for this one.
Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk about a new resource in Path of Exile 2 called Spirit. This is a spirit gem, which allows you to pick from a
Uncut
range of
spirit.
persistent skills.
Okay.
All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting effects, like Arctic Armor, which does cold damage to enemies that hit you, or Raging
Nice.
Spirits, which summon fiery skulls each time you cast a fire spell.
2 PoE 1
For the Witch,
classics.
though, we'll want to be using our Spirit to create permanent minions. These minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to worry about resummoning them all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which minions I would like in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one. Skeletal warriors are cheap, but weak, useful for tanking damage and distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters in my army, so I'm going to unsummon some warriors and instead add skeletal arsonists. Permanent
Dude.
minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a bigger army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon type is imbued with even more spirit, allowing you to summon even more friends.
Oh yeah.
And if you want an even bigger
116
army than
spirit?
that, you can take advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions. But what can a witch do while her army is at work? Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them down.
Do everything
There are
you want
25
in an
active
necro.
occult skills. By the endgame, you will be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its path.
Oh my god.
The Sorceress bends the elements to her will, using them to unleash
My
devastation
favorite
on her
class
foes.
in every
This classic
ARPG.
spellcaster weaves a flurry of elemental magic from afar.
This will probably
The elemental
be the
skills
first
have everything you
class
might
that I roll.
expect and more. Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning storms, you get the idea. Each spell is unique and has many different ways to build and combo with others, even between different elements. For example, Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also empowers all projectiles that pass through it. If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage. It's a good idea to take advantage of the ability
That
to
looks
automatically
sweet.
swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills and another with
swap
bonuses
back
to
and
lightning
forth?
skills can really power up a combo like this.
Oh, dude.
The Sorceress can also take advantage.
I have to pause that there. That kind of reminds me of if anybody's played Guild Wars 2, where the oh geez, I can't remember what the class is called now. Wizard? No, I can't remember. But you could change attunements between elements, and you could combo them, and that reminds me of that. You could switch back and forth. That's really, really cool.
Of powerful trigger gems. For example,
Trigger
you could grab
gems.
the Cast and Ignite gem and use it with Firestorm. As you ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm will automatically be cast to the enemy that was ignited.
Oh, that's
There are
sweet.
25 active elemental skills. By endgame, you'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes.
Yeah.
Now, those are the characters that will be available at the start of early access, but we will be adding 6 more character classes with just as many skills and options as these.
6?
There's a lot more to come.
6 more?
There's one more important
Well, I
thing
know
to
that there's
mention
the
about
druid.
skills.
Hold on.
Even though
There's the druid. There's the shadow. What else is there? Have they announced anything else? I thought they. I don't know. I thought there was just 8. Is it gonna be 12 in total?
Even though we talk about them as belong to each class, in reality there are no restrictions. You can use all these skills on any class so long as you have the attributes.
No way.
For example, a Poison Ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage. Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his Glacial Cascade combo. The possibilities for cross-class combos are practically unlimited.
my God.
We're looking forward to what kind of things you guys might find. Now, Path of Exile is a game known for build customization, and we haven't even scratched the surface of what is possible yet.
Yeah.
So let's talk about support gems.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Path of Exile 2 has a system.
Can I just say that was probably one of the best class reveals that I've ever seen out of any video game? Like, Oh, dude, GGG they're on a whole other level. This looks absolutely incredible. Wow. I mean, everything I've seen so far has just blown my mind away. As long as gameplay is fun and engaging and keeps you wanting to come back, I mean, this could be okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but yeah, okay. But I'll hold that thought.
System of support gems that can be combined with your active skills to dramatically change the way they work. If you find a support gem, then right-clicking it will open up this screen. Here you will find a variety of recommended support gems for each of your skills that you can pick between.
Okay.
For example, this is a multiple projectiles support gem and can be used to add multiple projectiles to any skill. Normally, when you fire a grenade, it'll look like this. But if we add multiple projectiles, then you get 3 of them. Once you have the gem, you can also freely move it between any of the skills on your character. If you want to have a multi-shot sniper rifle instead, then simply move the gem over to your high-velocity round skill. Generally speaking, if it sounds like a support gem should work with a skill, then it will work. So it's a good idea to experiment.
That is gonna
Note that you can only have one of each support gem on your character, so you'll want to think carefully about which supports can be used best with each skill for maximum damage.
Wow.
Now, if you want to stick to the recommendations, you should have a perfectly good time. But if you want to experiment a bit more, then uncheck that recommended button and you can see the full list of supports that will work with your skill.
Oh, that's so cool, man. So they come up with loaded or recommended builds. I mean, it is a brand new game, right? Like, you don't want to break yourself, I guess, but that was the issue with Path of Exile 1, is that, like, if you leveled up a character, you went in the wrong ways on the skill tree, and, you know, you'd eventually just hit a brick wall, and you can't just, like, hit a button to reset and, like, you know, respec. This is really cool, man. Yeah, I really like this for, especially the launch. Wow, cool.
There are hundreds of support gems to choose from, and even we don't know the results of all the possible ways these can interact. Each skill can have up to 5 supports socketed into it. That's so funny that the devs say that. And if you're clever, you can come up with some pretty interesting ideas. Now, all of this is just scratching the surface. You can make frost vortexes, break people's armor, make minions explode, make skills repeat, make enemies set each other on fire, cull enemies, or pin them to the ground. Supports let you drastically change the behavior of your skills and create your own unique build, or at least follow someone's OP build guide. So, speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there.
1,500?
Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first.
Yeah.
But try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Each level, you get 1 point to put into the tree. Each class starts at a different location, but they all share the same tree. Around your section of the tree, you'll find relevant bonuses for your character. You should be safe in the knowledge that there aren't many wrong choices here. Almost all the starting nodes will be useful for your character in some way. But if you do happen to make a choice you regret, you'll be able to respec any nodes you've taken by spending a little bit of gold.
Oh, what? Oh, yes, dude. They came out with a respec option.
Now, the tree is generally divided up into clusters which have similar themes.
Not orbs.
In each cluster, you will find small nodes that give simple bonuses like increased damage, but the real power comes from notables.
Yeah.
Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how your build works and what skills you're using.
Yeah.
For example, in the Mercenary area of the tree, this one gives a 25% chance for crossbow skills to not consume a bolt.
Oh, sweet.
And here's one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a second time. This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain, as well as giving you some pierce chance to make that more likely.
That's really cool.
Note that even though this is in the Mercenary section, this would work with projectiles from all classes.
I was going to say that.
So there are often reasons to go to different areas of the tree. In order to get between these clusters, you will generally have to allocate nodes in the attribute highways. Attribute nodes allow you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that your gear might need. You can change which attribute these nodes give you for half price at the respec vendor.
What?
In addition to notables, you will also find even larger passives called keystones.
That's really cool.
Keystones have both an upside and a downside.
I love how Chaos Inoculation is being ported over. That's awesome. I always loved the name of this. I have to build a class with this. I have to.
And often require changing your entire build to design around them. A great example is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield two-hand weapons in a single hand, but doubles the attribute requirements of them. You can use a two-hand mace with a shield, or even dual wield them.
Dual wield two-handed maces.
Or how about Mind Over Matter,
like
which makes all damage go to your
badass.
mana pool first before your life pool, but you lose 50% of your mana regen. Skills like these can be tough to build around, but if you're up for the challenge, they can be very rewarding. As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress, you can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills.
Yeah, I want to see more of this.
One of the new features in Path of Exile 2's passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses on the tree. For the Sorceress, you might want to change between fire and lightning specialization.
Wait, what?
Or you could switch between one hand and a two-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while following up with heavy hits from your bigger mace.
Oh,
Or perhaps you could
that's
have a full
sweet.
curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage. If you want to stick with just one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like, but creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system.
Holy
You can
man.
get weapon specialization points
The builds
throughout
are
the
gonna be
campaign from
endless.
optional bosses and quests. For example, if I manage to defeat the Crowbell, I'll get a weapon specialization book. There are lots of other permanent boosts available from the campaign too. On the map, you can see icons that
This is the new
indicate
map.
the many optional encounters you can find. Some of them have permanent character boosts, and others have powerful items. If you're having trouble getting past a boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find. For example,
that's really
if you defeat
cool.
Blackjaw the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance. One of the most important finds are spirit bonuses. You can find the first one here in the canopy in Act 1. Defeat the boss in this area to acquire a permanent addition of spirit. The permanent buffs you gain from spirit are very powerful, and every class will find a use for them, so make sure you hunt down these upgrades. There's one
What, dude? You get to go boss farming for permanent stats. They're, man, this is incredible. This is so much information. It is information overload. But man, this just looks so good. Wow. Okay. They've really outdone themselves. This is just incredible. The amount of skill opportunity that you can do is insane.
one in each act. Now, we haven't even talked about the
one in
most
each act,
important
okay.
element of character progression, items. That's why we're all here, right?
I mean,
Items in Path of Exile
items are what make ARPGs. And they don't sell them as microtransactions. Thank God. But I really hope, I know that GG makes their money off of microtransaction sales. It makes the gear look all flashy. I really hope that there's some gear in the game that makes you look badass, just like Diablo 2. You know, Ick armor, Talrasha. There was just so many. I wonder if they have sets in this game. ARPGs need to bring back sets, okay? They were badass. They made your character look awesome. And collecting sets was just so much fun in Diablo 2. I really hope that PoE has something like this. But yeah, you got to find good loot. Stats are like, you know, obviously amazing. You want to build your character, be super powerful, but you also want your character to look badass. And if you can grab a piece of gear that looks badass without having to use microtransactions, you know, that is always awesome. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how GGG makes their money. So I'm kind of curious how they do this.
Exile can be broken down into 4 rarity groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique. One of the things you're going to
cool.
want to do
Like
as you
sick.
play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with currency items. An Orb of Transmutation will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with 1 mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation to add a second mod, then use a Regal Orb to add a 3rd mod, and upgrade it to a rare.
So they've
Finally,
kept
you can use some
currency.
Exalted Orbs to add more mods to your rare to a total of 6 mods.
Wow.
One of the things we think is really important is to make these options available to use as you play. All the items that add mods are much more common than they were in Path of Exile 1,
Oh,
so
sweet,
that you
okay.
can use them throughout your campaign playthrough. We want you to find things on the ground that can be crafted.
Can we just take a second to look at the gear and what it looks like compared to PoE1. Like the artwork is incredible. Wow. Yeah, this is insane. Cool, man. I know I look great, don't I? Gear. Oh, every time I talk about gear in ARPGs, there's gear in the chat going, yeah, that's me. Chewbacca growl.
Crafted into upgrades much more
Just for
frequently.
you, brother.
As well as making the drop rates on these items much more common, you can also get them by disenchanting unwanted gear at the magic item vendor. If you disenchant magic items, you can build up to an orb of transmutation, and by disenchanting rares, you can build up to regal orbs. Another important area of crafting items in PoE2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add more mods to the item. If I insert this glacial rune into my helmet, it will give extra cold resistance. This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like resistances or damage.
Ruins?
If you find socketed items that you don't have a use for, you can take them to the salvage bench in town to work towards an artificer's orb. This will allow you to add sockets to your existing items. Body armors and two-hand weapons can have up to 2 sockets, while the rest of your armor and one-hand weapons can only have 1 socket. You can also salvage items with quality to create items like armor scraps or whetstones. These will allow you to increase the quality of your items for an up to 20% boost.
Dude, the way the currency looks so much better than PoE1. This, like, they're not even recognizable. No, you wouldn't even know. If I just saw that in the inventory, I wouldn't have known what that was. Sweet. Hurry up, Warzone awaits. Brother. We're watching Path of Exile 2, sir. I don't even know what Warzone is anymore.
If you don't want to disenchant or salvage your items, you can always sell them for gold. Gold can be used to buy items from vendors, and we've tried to do a lot to make sure that the items they have for sale are actually useful.
Oh, good.
Every time you level up, they get more stock, so make sure to check back often.
Yeah, let's hope
Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type.
Gotta have a gambler.
This could be a great way to improve your gear, if you're lucky. Gold is also used to respec your passive skills.
Hold on, there's that guy again. Wait, I think I went back too far. Can we just take a second to look at the town that we're in? We're literally on a moving town. Like something out of Mad Max, man. This is insane. All right, it's not going to show me. I got to pause it.
Of your gear, if you're lucky. Gold.
The hooded one. Okay, he doesn't have a name. I bet you find out later on in the game. Wait. Identify items. Is this the new cane? This is the new Deckard cane.
Gold is also used to respec your passive skills. Take advantage of the system to experiment with your tree and rework it as required. The other thing you might want to use gold for is the currency exchange. This allows you to exchange currency items with other players on an open market, in exchange for a small gold fee.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now, all items in Path of Exile are freely tradable. We never bind anything to your character, except gold.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, they're keeping that.
Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that isn't. Uniques. They are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of unusual mods which can dramatically change a character's build.
Sick.
They're not just better rare items, they can do much stranger things that can fundamentally change your character.
Yeah.
Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
Look at that artwork, dude. Oh man, I'm gonna spend so much time just looking at artwork in this game. This looks awesome. Okay, hold on. I didn't even pay attention to what he was saying. I was just mesmerized by the by the artwork of the boots.
They can do much stranger things that can fundamentally change your character. Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
What? That's awesome.
The Sands of Silk is a body armor that changes your dodge roll into a blink, morphing you into sand as you teleport past your foes.
What? Okay, well, this kind of answered my question that I had earlier. Look at how badass this vest makes you look. And it teleports and okay, dude, the sand effect. Oh my god, man. This is incredible. This is only a level 16
And of course, some
item,
uniques are just
too.
pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed.
Dude, Quill Rain.
Each unique is
classic
something that you
PoE.
can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame, even if you find them early on.
Oh, those
and
look
as you can
so
see,
sick.
every single unique item comes with custom art to match.
Wow.
The last character progression system
Well,
that you
answer
can do
my
during
question.
the campaign is Ascension. Starting in Act 2, you will come across Ascension trials, tests that you must complete to unlock your Ascension class. We'll explain these trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your character.
Okay.
Each class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of early access, only 2 per class will be available. Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character.
I can't wait to learn more.
As a Sorceress, you could become a Storm Weaver, a master of the elements. Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be summoned each time you do a critical hit with a spell.
Oh, that's sweet.
With Strike twice, you can stack 2 copies of Shock for more damage. And going deeper into the tree, you can make all your damage types apply Shock. Make a Shock build from any skill.
Wow.
Alternatively,
dude.
you could become a Chronomancer and command time itself. She
Wait,
literally
what?
has the ability to stop time with Time Freeze. Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation abilities. Using Temporal Rift, she can teleport back to a previous location, resetting her life and mana back to what it was. Or with Time Snap, she can reset all her cooldowns and cast all her spells again.
This is the greatest game ever. This might be the best RPG ever made. There is a chance. I'm completely blown away, man. I don't even know what to say. You can literally freeze time? Dude. I don't know if I want to play any other video games after this, bro. This is insane. And this is early access. This is even like, dude, what do they have planned in the future is what I want to know. Actually, no, I don't want to know that. There's too much information right now. We're not even halfway through this video yet.
On the Warrior, you can choose between the Warbringer or the Titan. The Warbringer channels the might of his ancestors to gain tremendous power. Using Answered Call, you can summon ancestral spirits linked to each of your totems.
Oh,
With
that's
Jade
awesome.
Heritage, you can encase your body in a protective layer that absorbs all damage until it breaks.
That's really
Warcaller's
cool,
Bellow
actually.
allows you to explode the corpses of your enemies. And with Great Wolf's Howl, you can ignore the cooldowns of your war cries. Let all that anger out.
What?
The
Ignore
Titan class is
Warcry
all about hitting
cooldowns.
big. With Earthbreaker, every slam is a chance to create an aftershock. With Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease.
That's really cool.
With Surprising Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. As a ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert markswoman who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile.
Classic.
With Gathering
Ranger
Winds,
skill.
she gains a small increase to movement speed with every attack. But be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes, she will never miss, allowing you to stop wasting all those passive points on accuracy.
Nice.
Alternatively, you could become a Pathfinder, the master of flasks and poison. She can choose from one of several throwable concoctions, allowing her to spend her flask charges to throw explosive bottles that deal various types of damage.
What?
A bleeding concoction will make your enemies bleed, while a fulminating
That's
one can
pretty
shock
cool.
your enemies, allowing you to do extra damage.
Was this in PoE?
Contagious Contamination allows her to spread poisons between her foes, while Overwhelming Toxicity doubles the number of stacks they can be infected by. Running Assault allows her to move much more quickly while firing, while Relentless Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies.
Wow.
The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound sets enemies on fire, as well as taking a percentage of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit.
That's so
With
cool.
Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies.
Dude.
She can also transform into a literal demon.
Oh,
While
my
in demon form, she
God.
takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well. So if you're planning on transforming into a
Holy
demon,
shit.
make sure you stack a lot of life recovery. She can also become a blood.
Oh my God. You can. So wow. So people kind of guessed that you could do that, but holy shit, dude. I might have to become a witch. That looks incredible. My mind is blown right now, man. There's so much information.
Blood mage, a master of life and energy. All blood mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana, but in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back that life. With
Oh, that'd be a
Crimson
pretty
Power,
crazy
she can gain
playstyle.
large amounts of extra life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well. Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make your critical
Gore
hits deal
Spike.
incredible amounts of damage. A monk who is in tune with the elements might become an invoker.
I'm curious
With
about this
elemental
class.
expression, the invoker will create waves of elemental power each time he does a critical strike. With faith as a choice, you
Okay.
gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield.
Wait.
Choose between I am the blizzard or I am the thunder to specialize in cold or lightning.
Oh,
And I Shall
dude.
Rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar. Each time you apply a status ailment to an
What?
enemy, you gain Unbound Fury. When you have enough, transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments.
Holy smokes.
Some
That looks
monks
really
choose to
fun.
reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery of spirit for darkness, a resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage. The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming, but if you take Grasp of the Void, you will deal extra chaos damage from all the darkness you have. Their Dark Pact offers greatly increased resistances to chaos damage and can allow their mana leech to not only happen instantly, but apply to their energy shield as well. Another node you can take is Waking Dream, which allows you to see into the domain of the Breach Demons. There you will see the Flames of Chayula that can be taken to gain life, mana, and damage.
What?
The Mercenary has a job to do, but which job suits you?
Wow.
You might choose to become a Witch Hunter.
Look at me. I am
Obsessive
the blizzard.
Rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance is doubled against demons and undead. With Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. This is great for hunting powerful bosses.
Yeah.
And with Witchbane, you can break your enemy's concentration, preventing them from casting spells as often as they would usually do. You could also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh. Integrated Efficiency will
Right
give
in
you
your
extra
flesh.
skill slots. Thermatological Infusion
What?
gives you extra maximum resistances as you sock up more and more support gems.
Holy smokes.
Adaptive Capability allows you to use any color of gem without worrying about attributes, while Crystalline Potential adds extra quality bonuses to every gem socketed into your character.
What? Dude, these Ascendancy classes? Oh my god. Wow, dude, I'm speechless, man. This is insane. This is unbelievable. This is gonna be so much fun. Every class, every Ascendancy class they've mentioned so far, I want to play. Wow. We've cracked the well, we haven't even, well, yeah, we've cracked the halfway mark.
So those are the
There's still so
Ascendancy
much
classes for
to
the
go
start
over.
of early
This is
access. But one thing we haven't talked about yet is how you ascend in the first place. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which
Okay.
you'll find as you progress through the campaign.
Are these
Each one is associated with
over
one
from
of the
DOE
major
ones?
cultures of Rayclast.
major
Located
cultures?
in the Vasteri Plains are the Maraketh,
Whoa,
a
this looks
culture of
awesome.
rich tales and brutal traditions, who must do whatever it takes to survive in the desert. The highest position in Maraketh culture is a Sekima, and it is not a title given freely. All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning,
grueling
and
gauntlet.
patience. To enter, a warrior of the Marraketh must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin, and you are no different.
Wow, okay.
Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed on the relic altar to begin the trial.
Oh, okay. The trial. They brought it back.
In the Trial of the Sekhmers, each room has its own challenges to overcome. In this room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room. Once the chalice is filled, you will be able to proceed. While fighting monsters in the trial, you will need to be very careful. Each hit will not only hurt you, but will damage your honor. The monsters are well telegraphed, so that you can avoid their attacks, but if you run out of honor, you will fail the trial and need to find another coin in order to try again. It is a good idea to make sure that you are well prepared before challenging the Trial of the Sekhmers.
Is this going to be difficult as a melee class?
After each room, you will be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used to unlock chests later in the trial. Once you have claimed your reward, you will be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose how you wish to proceed. Which challenges would you...
What? Dude, the map is so big now. You spend like an hour in here or what? Holy shit. Okay, hold on. I went too far forward.
The rest of the floor and may choose how you wish to proceed. Which challenges would you like to face, and which rewards do you want to claim? Some rooms are more dangerous, afflicting you with debuffs that will persist for the entire trial. For example,
gotta go for the big
entering
ones.
this room will afflict you with Spiked Shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of the trial to have 50% increased life.
Bring it on.
You will want to take care if you choose such a path. There are many different challenges and rewards as you journey through the trial.
Give me that
deadly traps,
that cloak,
waves of monsters,
the one that
and strange artifacts will
turns me
test
into
your
sand.
honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain boons from the djinn, which will help you on your
20%
journey.
of honor?
For example,
Oh,
the
no
Sekhmer's
way.
cloak will revive you once if you die, giving you a second shot at a run.
Oh, wow.
One of the
okay.
rewards you may find
cool.
is Sacred Water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the djinn and the Marraketh. Trading it with the djinn will allow you to receive many benefits. You can recover honor, gain additional boons, or remove afflictions. At the end of the floor, you'll find a powerful boss which will truly test your limitations.
Rattle Cage
In
the
order to
Earthbreaker.
ascend, you will need to defeat him.
That kind of reminds me of the mob that's in the mines. DOE1.
Having defeated the boss, you've earned the right to ascend. But first, the loot.
Yeah.
The keys you have found may be used to open the various treasures in the vault at the end of the floor.
Hoarder is cash?
We only have a single bronze key, so we'll just have to open one of these small chests. If you want to open the better ones, you'll need silver or gold keys. Let's
You
use
got
the
one
Altar of
orb?
Ascendancy. Your first ascension will allow you to pick your class and grant you 2 points to use in the tree. Now there are more floors and many more rewards that can be found within the Trial of the Sekhmers, but we'll save that for the section on the endgame. For now, let's talk about the second Ascendancy trial, the Trial of Chaos. In Path of Exile 2, you can choose whichever trial you like to earn your ascension. Each culture on Rayclast had their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Sekhmers is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another. You can gain all your ascension points from just one, or mix and match them. It's up to you.
Wow.
For early access, we will have 2 trials as options, with a 3rd trial coming later for the full release. While exploring the Vaal jungle, you'll discover the Temple of Chaos.
The level
Before
design
the
is
Vaal
incredible.
embraced the science of corruption, their civilization worshipped chaos. This ancient trial was once used by the Vaal to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vaal must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the trial requires a token from a strange entity known only as the Trial Master. For those in which he sees potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum. Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness. Most have perished. Will you be able to defy the odds?
Oh, they're not going to show us
Before
any?
you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice. Choose one of 3 tribulations to
There we
affect
go.
you through the rest of the trial. These modifiers might beef up the monsters, curse the player, or add environmental hazards like turrets or trap runes. In this case,
Wow,
we'll be
okay.
picking shocking turrets.
Shocking turrets. That doesn't sound fun at all.
As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
That would make things a little bit difficult. Yeah. Those elevator? Wow. That's really cool. These mobs look insane. The attention to detail is incredible. There's so much to look at.
After each room, you will need to make a choice. Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing. Increase your rewards, but take on more risk.
Yeah.
Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming.
Wow. You try to push yourself.
There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways. This one simply requires you survive for a certain amount of time. Another requires you to escort the stone idol through the level as elevators full of monsters descend to attack you. Should you be able to get through the first 3 chambers, you will face your first boss. The order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will never feel the same. After defeating the boss, you may claim your rewards. Of course, there are the items, but you also gain the right to ascend. If you already did the Trial of the Sekhmers, then you can claim 2 more points to add to your Ascendancy class. Now, it's possible to go much deeper. There are more bosses, rewards, and risks to take, but we'll talk more about that when we get to Endgame.
There's so much.
So how about we talk about that now?
Game structure.
So
Holy
far,
smokes. Guys, we still have quite a bit of time here. I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to be able to make it over to the next game. I'm just going to keep watching this. I am completely blown away. This is incredible.
We've been showing you footage from the campaign, but some people would argue that the end game is where the game truly begins.
Yeah.
Something that happens almost every time a new action RPG launches is people saying, there isn't enough in-game content. Well, we want to make sure that in PoE 2, people don't feel that way. And we actually only changed our development priority for this recently.
Dude. Can you ask for better game devs? Like, they know their player base. They listen to feedback. They know exactly what we want. This might be one of the best game reveals I've ever seen. Ever. In my entire life. This is unreal.
The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player. This is already a pretty significant campaign.
See, 25?
Who already take around. Changed our development priority for this recently. The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player.
Just the first 3.
This is already a pretty significant campaign. On the other hand, people spend hundreds of hours in endgame each league. We realized that finishing the rest of the campaign for early access was actually a bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content.
Yeah,
but for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the in-game challenges to overcome.
True.
So several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making in-game content. At the start of early access, there will be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there. We'll be adding content to roughly double the size of the game during early access and into release.
What?
Now, in order to make the endgame happen at the same character level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called Cruel, where you repeat the campaign with all the monsters and bosses leveled up. And of course, new rewards. You can kind of think of it as like a new game plus.
Yeah.
It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time as your clear speed increases. That will take you to around level 65, where the endgame begins.
It's like
Once
Diablo.
we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be
Go from
removing
normal
Cruel
to
difficulty.
Nightmare to Hell.
So you'll progress straight from the end of Act 6 to endgame.
Wow, okay.
But what is the endgame? To explain that, I'll hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about it.
25 hours.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2.
Another legend.
Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a lot of distinct endgame content to choose between. Each endgame mechanic needs to have its own progression system, areas, bosses, rewards, and player power that can only be gained from that content. We are going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2 we decided to start with 7 distinct systems you can progress through.
Okay.
This is the Atlas, and it serves as the core of the endgame for Path of Exile 2.
It's infinite and
This looks
expands
so
in
cool
all directions.
compared to the
Now,
old
we are
one?
not going to spoil the plot too much here,
Yeah.
but corruption from the beast has blighted the land, and your objective is to help fight it. In the center of the Atlas, you will find the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research the fundamental
Did you just say ziggurat? Like cigarette, but ziggurat?
of space and time. Here, we can open portals to nearby locations and begin cleansing corruption and finding resources. In order to power the portal device, we will need waystones. Each waystone has a tier which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face. To go to an area, simply click one that is adjacent to an area that you have already completed. Insert the
Waystones?
waystone
Oh, so there's no more
and
maps?
click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you and your party to travel to the area
This
you
also says
have
map
selected.
device.
All the areas in the endgame feel distinct from the locations in the campaign, and we have dialed the randomization up to 11.
Look at that
The
monk.
monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations. There are over
You love to
400
hear
monster
it.
types in early access, and they have a lot of
400?
varied and interesting abilities. Depending on which combinations you
400.
face, you might find some serious challenges. In order to cleanse the corruption from the area, you will
Yeah,
need
the
to defeat
serpents.
all the powerful, rare, and unique enemies in it.
I thought that was the boss. That is your character that you're flying around with. Oh, dude. Wow.
Once you have done that, the area will be marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you die, then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it.
Oh,
There are also all
really?
kinds of other random
Okay.
encounters you might run into as you play maps. One such encounter
Are those
are
corrupted?
precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting monuments that irradiate the monsters around them. The monsters that feed off the
Okay,
corruption
so
are
these are
drawn to their
cursed,
power. If you defeat the
shrines.
monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make you faster, others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even give you increased experience
Well, they
or
have these
help
in
you find
PoE1,
better
but
items.
these look cursed.
You can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters lie in wait to attack you the moment you open it, and the boxes often have mechanisms to unleash powerful spells or dangerous debuffs.
You don't use that
There
on
are
a strong
different types
box.
of strong boxes containing different items, and you can even use your currency items to craft them on the fly, so you can optimize the contents. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
That opened very slow. I have a feeling people are gonna complain about that.
Sometimes you'll discover monsters frozen in essences, solidified crystalline corruption.
What?
These dangerous monsters can be broken free. If you
Crystalline
defeat them,
corruption.
the essence they drop can be used to upgrade normal
Oh.
items to magic items with a guaranteed mod
Bring
from a
back
category.
essences.
For
Ah,
example,
okay.
we could use this one on some boots to
I
ensure a
liked
movement speed
the
mod.
look of the blue before though.
Rarely, essences will also drop that allow you to upgrade magics to rares,
I mean,
adding
it
the
still looks really
guaranteed
good.
mod.
Yeah, essences are like a key part of leveling up.
This is incredibly powerful since it allows you to get a second deterministic mod in your crafting projects. Combining these with the currencies that are commonly found in Rayclast for modifying items, and we can get a very nice pair of boots indeed.
Wow.
Waystones, like all items, can also be crafted using your currency items. Adding prefix
this-
mods
this
will
is the new
improve the
map.
rewards, while suffix mods increase danger. The more dangerous a map is, the more waystones will drop. Adding mods to your waystones is key to progressing to higher tiers and sustaining them, but it will require you to take on larger challenges.
What you want to
There
do?
are a variety of factors you
that's the
have to
goal.
consider when crafting your waystones. Some maps will have higher density, some lower, some have more magic and rare chests, or monsters, some are more linear, and others more open. Make sure you explore and think about what makes certain maps
dude,
good
I
if
really
you want to
wanna play
maximize
that.
your returns. As you cleanse corruption from higher and higher tiers of the Atlas, you will gain points that you can spend in the Atlas tree. This tree allows you to juice the danger and rewards of all areas in the endgame. You could increase the number of monsters, the number of rares, the number of precursor artifacts or strongboxes, even the quantity of item drops. As you explore
Gotta
the
get that
in-game world
quantity.
map, you'll notice various different biomes, from snow-capped mountains to
Yeah.
dense jungle valleys. Most maps are restricted to certain
Dude,
biomes.
how big is this map?
As you continue to explore deeper into the Atlas,
Zoom out, I wanna
there are
see
all
this.
sorts of things to discover. These cities are constructed by different peoples of Rayclast and have specific items that can be found there. These strange structures marked on the map don't appear to do
Realm
anything for now.
gates.
Perhaps you'll work out how to use them later. You might find unique maps
You're not
like
gonna show us?
Untainted Paradise, an undisturbed island full of beasts that
gotta be
give an
some mystery, I
extreme
guess.
amount of experience. You may even find a lonely man just enjoying his retirement who will give you a unique item for free. In addition, you can
Sweet,
find
okay.
special areas that would make a good spot to set up camp.
Smoking his pipe.
Clear these areas of their hostile inhabitants, and you'll be able to claim them as your own hideout. You can decorate your hideout as you see fit and invite various
Decorate your
NPCs to
hideout?
join you there to create your own personal base of operations.
I love
A
it.
great
the
tool
brought
for
back
exploration
hideouts.
are towers. These mysterious
Whoa,
precursor
what is
constructs
this?
are dotted around the Atlas. Completing the tower will reveal a large area around it, allowing you to scout out your next challenge. There are lots of things to find,
Oh.
so keep looking.
That was taken right from Last Epoch. Rip Last Epoch. This game is just on a whole other level. I'm sorry. Last Epoch's really fun. It is. And I really wish that I spent a little bit more time in that game. But now it's gonna really have to wait. This is just completely blowing my mind. This is incredible.
Some sections of your atlas are influenced by corruption. This adds extra modifiers to the maps in the region, increasing difficulty and rewards.
Yeah.
Here, slaying monsters in close proximity to each other will cause the vestiges of corruption within them to merge together, forming powerful and grotesque abominations.
Yeah,
You
it
may
looks
have
like it would
noticed while
absolutely
looking at the
destroy you.
atlas that some of the areas have these icons above them. The icon indicates that the area contains some kind of special encounter. This icon indicates that the area has a powerful boss. Because only 1 in 4 maps contain a map boss, we are
fungus
able to make
behemoth.
them very powerful and very rewarding. These bosses come from the campaign, but have had their difficulty increased with changes to AI and some of their abilities. It's worth noting that
Wow,
because you
really?
can see where the bosses are, you can choose to take them on or avoid them. If you do choose to hunt bosses though,
Okay.
then you will be rewarded with special points for the boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree. The points
Boss
here will
hunting
allow
section?
you to specialize in boss killing, giving you much greater rewards for defeating them.
Oh, dude.
For each different type
are
of
they gonna have
content
their
in
own
the
loot
end
pool? I hope they have their own loot pool. Yeah, I want to target. I want a target farm, man.
game, we are adding specialized trees in order to make it so you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of content. We will be showing you 7 of these by the end of this presentation, so
7?
there is still a lot more to come. Bosses are not the only icon you will see on the Atlas. Let's take a look at one of the
What are the
in-game
hands?
systems,
That's Blade,
Breach.
right? Oh, Breach.
If
yeah,
you've
that's
played
right.
PoE
Breach.
1, you might be familiar
This
with
is one of my
Breach.
favorite things
For
to do.
PoE 2, we have created sequels to several PoE 1 leagues. While the mechanic is familiar, the monsters, bosses, rewards, and progression are all new. A breach is a tear in the fabric of reality. Opening it will allow you to see the demons and otherworldly monstrosities that lie in wait on this other plane of existence. By engaging with a breach, you'll create a bridge between their world and Rayclast. In order to keep the breach open, you will need to kill the demons that pour forth. The faster you can kill the monsters, the more monsters you will fight, and the more loot you will find.
It was
You can
always
also
so much fun
find
to do
clasped
these.
hands that will open and drop more items if you run over them. These can be a good boost to the rewards of the breach, so keep an eye out. One of the rewards that you may find while fighting monsters from Breach are tablets. Tablets are special items that can be used with precursor towers to add more encounters to the Atlas. Breaches will drop breach tablets. Clicking on a completed tower will allow you to consume the tablet to add more breaches to areas within range of the tower. This makes all the content in the Atlas self-sustaining. Want to do more breaches? Find the tablets, add them to your towers, get more breaches, getting more tablets. Soon your Atlas will be covered in otherworldly domains.
That's so
In addition,
cool, man.
like all items in PoE, you can craft them. Use your currency to add mods to your tablets, allowing you to upgrade all the breaches in range. Tablets
This is
can have
unreal.
up to 2 mods. These mods do things like adding extra rare monsters, extra clasped hands, or even monster density of breaches, allowing you to keep them open longer. Often, you will find multiple towers near to each other with overlapping areas of effect.
We are
This can
never
allow
gonna
you
be
to
bored.
really juice the mechanic by stacking the mods from multiple tablets.
We are never going to be bored playing
In your
this.
fight to hold the breach demons at bay, you may want to use the powers of their world against them. Each in-game mechanic always has player power that can only be gained from that mechanic, and Breach is no different. In Breach, you
I
will
like how
find
they've
catalysts,
made a mechanic
items
from
that can
PoE
increase
1
the
into
quality
this.
of rings and amulets by improving specific mobs. You can also find Breach Rings, a special base type that can have its quality improved by
Excuse me, yes?
catalysts up to 50%. In this case, you could create a ring with around 170 life. Breach Rings can become some of the strongest rings in the game, giving you some good motivation to face the demon hordes. In addition, each endgame mechanic needs to have a Pinnacle endgame encounter. While killing Breach monsters, you may find Breach Splinters. Collect enough of these and you'll be able to create a Breach Stone. Using a vile technology called the Realm Gate, you can use your Breach Stone to access their domain and bring the fight to them.
Wow.
In this
Yes, now-
twisted
I can
domain,
now,
you
Game
will
Machine,
find
yeah.
nothing but a single massive breach. Triggering it will reveal hordes of breach inhabitants.
Dude, the monk looks
And
so
should you
much
be
fun.
fast enough, you will be able to fight their leader, Zesht. We that are
Zesht.
one.
That dreamed. We in nightmare. That are one.
Oh, it's so creepy, dude. It's got like hands as wings. Oh, what? We who are one. Oh. Oh.
This is just one of the Pinnacle encounters of PoE 2. We won't be showing the rest of them, so you will have to discover them for yourself. But rest assured, this is some of the hardest content we have ever made. All of these encounters have specific uniques that can only be found from them, but that's not all. We still have
Target
the
bar of a
progression
time.
system. Defeating Zesht
Hold
will
on, the
give
what
you
system?
points to allocate into the breach section.
Oh, dude, this is unbelievable. Wow. We've been watching this for almost, just shy of an hour now. And, dude, this is so much information. I'm gonna have to watch this a few times just to, like, catch everything. There's so much. I'm completely blown away. This is unreal. I cannot wait till December 6th. Wow.
The progression system. Defeating Zesht will give you points to allocate into the breach section of the Atlas tree. Allocating these points will make breaches and the breach domain even harder, but will give you more rewards. The small nodes will increase the difficulty of the twisted domain, while the large nodes have more specific bonuses. For example, this node adds more clasped hands to your breaches, and adds a pack of magic monsters that can guard them. Get some more points and you can allocate Waking Nightmare, which will double the number of splinters you get from clasped hands, and inflict you with a mysterious debuff. In order to
gonna
earn
have to
more
do
points,
Breach.
you will need to defeat Zesht at a higher difficulty, and some rewards from Zesht can
higher?
only be found by increasing the difficulty of the Twisted Domain above certain thresholds. Defeating Zesht
dude.
at difficulty 4 will be a challenge indeed, but there are
Difficulty
many
4?
more threats in Breaklast. Ritual altars
my
are sacrificial
God.
sites built by the mysterious king and
Wow. You typed out so much shit, but yeah, your VPN blocks Twitch messages. That's so weird, man. Yeah, I know. I honestly didn't see anything after Gear's message. Yeah. Dude, wow. Breach looks super, super fun. I'm getting a spam call.
the mists.
Let's continue.
If you encounter this symbol on the Atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars. Ritual altars
bring back
demand
ritual.
tribute. Every monster you slaughter in the circle will feed the altar. After the sacrifice, touch it to begin the ritual. The monsters you just killed will be resurrected by the King of the Mist's dark magic, and you must
vaguely
fight
played
to
this.
survive. The tribute you have offered to the altar can be spent to buy powerful items, but they can be expensive. To gain more tribute, you will want to find more altars. Each successive ritual you do within an area will spawn the monsters revived by the previous ones, in addition to the ones you sacrifice next to it. By the end of an area, you will be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend. One of the rewards
That's
you can
really
buy
cool.
with tribute are omens. These are special items that
Omens.
allow for metacrafting. Crafting items that affect other crafting items. Have an item with good prefixes but bad suffixes? This omen will help you to remove the mod you don't want while keeping the ones you do. There are a bunch more of these with different effects, but we will leave them for you to discover.
Wait,
now
did they
don't
rip that
forget
from
that
last
Ritual
epoch as
will
well?
also drop tablets, which can be used to specialize into getting more rituals. If you want to get to the Pinnacle boss of Ritual, then you will probably want to use them. They can also be crafted to grant mods, making your rituals more rewarding. The Pinnacle encounter
That's
of
so
Ritual
cool,
is
man.
the King in the Mists. Feared by
The Atlas is infinite and is random for everybody. What? That's from PoE mostly? Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played Ritual, or I did. I played it. I think I got to Endgame, and I don't think I did much past the first couple of maps. Dude, this is so much information. This is information overload. This is unbelievable, though.
the Ascendancy people, he is said to have brought eternal darkness to the Wildwood. We won't show the encounter, but just like Breach, there are a range of unique items you can get for defeating him, and you will gain points in the ritual section of the Atlas tree.
That's really cool.
Some maps have been touched by insanity.
So I guess you could just
a
do all of them if
mysterious
you wanted
entity
to.
has taken a
Delirium.
special interest in you.
I love
Step
Delirium
through
as
the
well.
looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying. Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel, the stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your welcome. Rare and unique enemies will become vessels for terrifying demons, who will manifest out of them to unleash powerful attacks on you. The mist also offers a strange crafting material, distilled emotions.
More?
By combining
okay,
these
I remember
emotions,
these.
you are able to instill your amulet with a notable from the passive skill tree.
Wait, did
this
they
is
have
like
these in
gaining an
PoE?
extra passive point for free, attached to your gear. They are also particularly
remember.
great because you don't have to traverse the tree to get them, allowing you to get off-class bonuses that would
Instilling... That's from Blight? Okay. So now it's in Delirium.
normally be much harder to get. Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your endgame maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your endgame maps.
unreal.
The tablets you can find from Delirium can be used to further improve it, increase
Instead of
pack
oils, it's
size,
those?
make the fog dissipate
okay.
slower, or improve
I
your
never got into
progress
any of that.
towards the pinnacle encounter of Delirium. Speaking of which, every now and then you will find simulacrum splinters. The mysterious entity will create strange encounters based on warped versions of your own memories. Monsters and simulacrums come in waves that get progressively more difficult. You will receive loot at the end of each wave, and you will have to make the decision to leave now
map
or
design is
continue
awesome.
on, facing up against even tougher foes from the mist. The bosses you will face as you get deeper into a simulacrum are truly terrifying.
Omniphobia, fear, manifest.
If you can complete a simulacrum, you will gain points for the
Wow.
Delirium section of the Atlas skill tree. Next up, we have
Expedition.
Expedition. Occasionally, while clearing corruption,
I
you will
liked
encounter
Expedition.
these Kalguran settlers. The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial sites with lost Verisium artifacts,
Yeah,
and
this
they
is
want you
always
to
so
help
much
dig
fun.
them up with
Takes a little bit of time,
explosives.
but I like
The
it.
Kalgurans have marked the locations
they
where
make
the
it more
relics can be
rewarding.
found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There is just one problem. Corruption has brought the corpses of their ancestors to life, so you might have to do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts.
There we go. Oh,
You can also find remnants, the destruction of which will further anger the restless dead. Each one you blow up will make the subsequent monsters more powerful, but also more rewarding. Danig, Rog,
Just the
Tujin,
animation of
and
it looks so
Gwenin
much
will
better,
exchange the artifacts for useful items and runic magic.
Yeah,
You can also find
is
tablets
so
to increase
rewarding.
the number of expeditions and the rewards. This one increases the radius of explosives, while this one increases the number of remnants you will find. Eventually, you might discover a logbook. These are special maps full of buried treasure and relics. Essentially, one giant dig site.
I don't remember this.
Here, you can create an
Craigie
extremely
Peninsula.
long chain of explosives and go through a very high number of remnants. But be careful. Many remnants have mods that can really brick your build, so you will probably want to avoid these ones. If you add too many remnants, you could easily make the encounter harder than you can handle. There are all sorts of interesting things buried
what?
under the ground in logbooks.
That is
You
from
might
PoE
find
1? I
dripping
don't remember
caves
that.
and hidden pirate caches. But the most powerful encounter is Olroth, the ancient undead commander of the Knights of the Sun. Defeating him will grant you unique rewards, as well as points to spend
That
in
guy's
the expedition section of
badass.
the Atlas tree. So those are the in-game systems on the Atlas, but we are not done yet. The trials we
What? Oh my god, dude. I'm completely blown away. Wow. we still got like another 14 minutes.
talked about earlier have much more content when you get to Endgame 2. Just like the other endgame systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms, and a floor boss that you will need to kill.
Oh, 2 bosses? Oh, I really like how they put the health bars beside each other.
There are 4 floors in total, leading to another Pinnacle boss at the end of the last floor, which can only be accessed at endgame. The Trial of the Sycamores is where you'll find jewels, which you can socket into your tree. These are like passives that you can craft with your currency
you're gonna
items.
want to do this.
They can be really powerful as they allow you to stack modifiers that may not be easily accessible on the tree normally. This jewel gives lightning damage and shock chance, for example. There are quite a few jewel sockets on the tree, so it's possible to gain a lot of power here.
Okay.
There are also other types of jewels that don't provide any bonuses themselves,
Is this the
but
only way
affect
to earn
other
jewels?
passives surrounding them. This jewel increases the effect of small nodes and radius by 25%. With careful placement in the tree, you could get a significant amount of power from it.
Yeah.
There are also unique jewels
Is it
available
very
with
special
very
in some
interesting
way? Okay.
effects, but you will have to find those for yourself. In order to push further into the trial and uncover the secrets of the Maraketh, you will want to take advantage of its progression system, relics. Relics are items that can be placed in the relic altar as you start the trial. They give special bonuses that affect the trial, making it easier and increasing its rewards. Of course, you can craft these with your currency items, making them even stronger. If you can complete the entire trial overcoming all 4 floors, the final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next run, but can reward you with unique and powerful items. For example, this is the Last Flame. If you use it, you will have only one
last
honor
hit
for the
of
entire
that pipe.
trial, so you will need to do a completely hitless run. The Trial of Chaos also extends into the endgame. As you gain inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher levels, the number of chambers that you can go through increases. In true Val style, this allows you to take even more risks for even more rewards. At endgame, you can progress through up to 10 chambers with 3 bosses on a single run. Stacking 10 tribulations on top of each other will make this a significant challenge, but it's worth it. The Trial Master will tempt you with items of the Val Empire, such as Val Orbs.
Oh, I love Val.
Val Orbs are powerful crafting items that corrupt your gear with random mysterious outcomes.
The orbs, but the Val
Corruption
areas in
prevents an
PoE 1
item
were
from
my
being
favorite.
modified
I loved going
further,
into
so
them.
it has to be the last step of your craft. But it's also the most impactful one. For example, if you use one on your body armor, it might add a new powerful enchantment, or it might re-roll up to half of its modifiers. Val Orbs also have the ability to add a socket, allowing you to bypass the normal restriction of how many sockets an item can have. A body armor could get up to 3 sockets this way, allowing for a significant number of mods.
You definitely
Val
want
Orbs can even
use those
modify
later on.
uniques. Adding enchantments or sockets to uniques can make them incredibly powerful, but there is a good chance that you will break them as well.
Yes.
The Trial Master will also occasionally offer you soul cores. Originally formed by Chaos, the Val sought to replicate soul cores through human sacrifice rituals and blood magic to power their civilization. Soul cores are powerful socketable items, with mods that cannot be obtained from regular runes. Like all endgame content, there is of course a
You are just never going to be able to be satisfied with your build because there's always going to be a way to like step it up to that next level, and you'll always be chasing that. And then you're going to fucking go for that Val Orb, or, you know, just fuck up your item somehow. And you're going to have to just figure something else out. Oh, dude, the chase is going to be unreal.
Pinnacle boss. The final chamber will drop keys to this mysterious door. Some say this is where the Trial Master himself resides. Perhaps you are willing to take the risk to find out.
I
Had
want to fight
enough
the Trial
yet?
Master.
Because there is still just one more thing. The
Pinnacle
most difficult
boss.
content in Path of Exile 2.
Oh, here we
While
go.
mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them. Each faction is led by an Uber Act boss. You can see one of them inhabiting the city, but in order to fight him, you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones. Be careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill all the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress. We aren't going to spoil it, as we can't wait to see you guys attempt it for the first time.
Yeah, I was going to say, please
but
don't
is there a
show
tree
us.
you get points in after killing it? Of course there is. This is Path of Exile. There is always another tree.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge.
Yeah.
Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access?
Speechless.
Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free.
480.
Anyone else?
Okay. Man, I don't know if I've spent $480 on this game. I might be close. I did spend a lot in PoE 1. I have a... Actually, maybe not a lot. I have 1 supporter pack. I think I have multiple. I don't know. I'll have to do that that script that K-Machine sent me. Dude, look at this. These look incredible.
$180. We'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free. Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store.
All right, let's see them.
If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack.
All right, so PoE 2 is going to be free when it fully launches. We're not sure when that is. But if you want to join early access, you'll have to buy this $30 US pack. We'll talk more about this in a little bit.
Also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store.
$60?
But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions,
USD?
points to spend in the store, and even
160?
physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts.
Do I do it, chat?
Can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts.
Oh, God. I'm already buying so much stuff, bro. Dude, you get a fucking t-shirt, a hoodie, a book. With all this stuff, 480 USD. I have to think about this one. Plus 2. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 4 Path of Exile early access key or Path of. Okay. I might have to do
Most
that.
of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately. The Lord of Ogham supporter pack contains a cosmetic armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is also...
Okay, so I'll talk about this now. I was going to wait until the end of it. I planned on buying keys to give away to the community. This may make that worth it. You get every pack before too. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
a matching back attachment, which has an alternate variant depicting the influence of corruption.
I might do that.
Also in this pack, you can find a portal formed of the rusted armor of the fallen soldiers in the Red Veil of Ogham. And the offspring of a vicious crowbell boss found in the hunting grounds. This one doesn't look so vicious though.
I know, that bell to the foot would hurt.
On top of that, you'll receive the Iron Count's Zweihander to apply to your one-handed or two-handed swords. For those who are wanting to decorate your hideouts with fond memories and tales of Path of Exile's history, you will also get a series of hideout statues. This pack contains the statue of Hillock. For Path of Exile 1's closed beta, each pack contained a true New Zealand icon, the Kiwi.
Following this tradition, all packs in this series will also contain a new themed Kiwi pet.
That's
The pet
awesome.
will loyally follow you into battle, but run away at the first sign of trouble. Become the ruler of the desert with the King of the Faradin supporter pack.
Whoa.
Show your mastery of traversing the sands of the Vasteri Plains. The body armor will allow you to glide along the ground with ancient sand magic.
What?
Now each armor set comes with body armor, boots, gloves, and helmet, but the boots are covered in sand. If you'd prefer to show them off, you can turn the gliding off if you want.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
The accompanying back attachment
That
equips
looks
you with
fucking
two
sick,
powerful
though.
pillars that can control and manipulate lightning. They will periodically release their energy in a powerful blast while in town, and hover in a circle around you, arcing lightning between them, forming a barrier of energy.
That's so cool. It doesn't
Replace
do
the
any-
appearance of any bow with the Faradin's Glory skin.
What the fuck?
Or replace the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's End spear skin. This spear skin can be applied to staves and war staves in Path of Exile 1.
Dude, there's like faces. Oh my god, bro. PoE's done it again.
If you want to truly show your worth as a king of the Faradin, then you definitely need your trusty moving entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought to travel across the
What?
Vasteri Plains. In Path of Exile, you can decorate your hideout however you like,
This
and
is
it's
a
no exception
hideout?
here. It comes with a variety of thematic
Oh
elements to
my
use,
God.
or use decorations from elsewhere in the game. Additionally, you will get the Deshret's Blessing level up effect.
Oh, that's
The
sick.
King of the Faradin Kiwi pet. And last but not least, a statue depicting the Vaal Oversoul from Path of Exile 1.
That's pretty
For those
awesome.
who don't know how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all of the cosmetics from the previous tier, so you'll get all the items from the Lord of Ogham supporter pack as well.
Man.
The Thaumaturge of the Vaal supporter pack features an armor set and
that
back
dagger
attachment
looks sweet.
themed around the Vaal and their pursuit of science and progress.
Wow.
You can find the Soul Core weapon effect in this pack, which causes thaumaturgic energy harnessed from sacrifice to spill from your weapon. This pack also contains Doryani's Idol. It replaces the default appearance of any foci to an ancient relic once used by Doryani, and this can be applied to shields in Path of Exile 1.
The attention to detail.
That's not the only Vaal weapon
amazing.
you'll find. It also contains the Wand of the Thaumaturge
Yeah,
skin
look at that.
and the Royal Sacrifice dagger skin.
Oh, those look so sick.
You wouldn't think to put sacrificial gems on a Kiwi, but the Vaal did. Thaumaturge of the Vaal supporters will receive the Thaumaturge of the Vaal Kiwi pet. And the Statue of Dominus. This is also the first pack in the series with a physical item. When
Dominus.
purchasing this pack, you'll receive a Path of Exile 2 logo t-shirt. But if you don't want
I
one,
need a tee.
you can opt out and return for additional points to spend in the store. Becoming a
actually pretty
Warlord
cool.
of the Karui supporter will grant you an armor set and back attachment, adorned in jade
Wow,
carvings
look at
and
that.
iridescent feathers resembling power. Enough to even impress the ancestral gods, specifically Tukohama, the
Look, not gonna lie, you kind of look like Shrek running around it. There's gonna be a meme on Twitter for sure about this.
Karui god of war. Overkill, you say? I think the Karui people would disagree. Why not drop a gigantic totem on rare enemies you slay to crush them to a pulp? Replace your crafting bench in your hideout with the Ancestral Canoe crafting bench, where Ancestral Chief Mata will summon a giant canoe manned by Karui warriors to aid in your crafting desires.
That's actually amazing.
You'll also get a pair of weapon skins.
The music
Equip
too.
Akoya's Felling Axe skin to your one-hand or two-handed axes,
That's so
or
cool.
Tukohama's Crusher to your one-handed or two-handed maces. A true Karui
looks
warlord
so
is
cool,
always
man.
accompanied by their trusty Kiwi.
She-Hulk.
Equipped with armor and harnessing ancestral magic, they make the perfect sidekick. Once one of the most feared beings in Rayclast, Malachi was slain by a
love
powerful
how
exile.
they do this.
May the statue commemorate the virtue of exile's past, present, and of the future.
K Machine, do you remember when Malachi first came out? We played hardcore. That was some of the best times I've ever had in an RPG. There was just something about it. Like I played hardcore in the past, obviously, in like Diablo 2 and whatnot. I've played maybe a couple seasons of PoE 1. But man, there's something about Malachi, and we're just like, yep, we're just gonna go ahead and we're head first right into the Malachi fight. It was insane. Yeah, what an experience that was. Titus, my butthole. Yeah, dude. Clenched.
Of course, it's not all about dressing up in game. You'll want to look good in real life too.
Yeah.
By becoming a Warlord of the Kurui supporter,
Give me
you'll
a
also get a
PoE
Path
hoodie.
of Exile 2 hoodie. Our final tier of supporter pack in this series is the Liberator of Ray Class
Dude,
supporter pack.
look at that.
The Liberator of Ray Class armor set and back attachment come made with the
You got a
finest
fucking
materials in
picture
Ray
on your
Class
shoulder.
and shattered glass mosaics suspended in divine power. Set up your base of operations in the Beacon of Salvation hideout.
Someone's gonna roast
Why
me for
restrict
calling that a
yourself to
picture,
just
but,
one
you know.
island when you can liberate more? The Beacon of Salvation hideout comes equipped with your own collection of small islands and personal operators of boats that you can use to row between them. Just walk to the piers, click a boat to enter, and navigate as you choose.
No way.
Decorate each island as you see fit to best represent your well-earned hideout. Everyone in your hideout.
There's no way, dude. There is no way. Okay, Machine, we gotta be able to we gotta be able to navigate island to island together, okay, bro? All right, fuck it. I'm buying this pack. Sold.
Hideout can use their own boat. Why not have some races? You can also get the Window to Twilight
Oh,
portal effect.
we're having races.
A beautiful
We're having fucking currency races, okay?
mosaic piece of art that shatters and reveals a gateway to your desired destination as you approach it. As you walk away, the glass magically reforms back to its original form.
Wow.
Rule in style with the Throne of the Ruler map device. Sure, this map device can create portals to endgame maps, but it also comes with a throne you can sit on to oversee your growing kingdom. Look down on the plebeians running your maps. Being the Liberator, though, is not just about sitting on your throne all day. If you do decide to join the fight yourself, you can leave a High Priest in charge as your second in command. Liberator of Ray Class supporters will
Oh my god, dude. These devs are on a whole other level. I've said this many of times on stream before. These are the best devs in the industry, man. I don't know of any other devs that care this much about their community, make this much content, listen, adjust, provide unreal, amazing update after update after update, and just this is unreal. And then, you know, they make something to this level of detail. I know this is a microtransaction and it costs a lot of money, but like, dude, this is nuts.
also get a
I'm
set
like trying
of
to wrap
varied
around my
weapon
head
skins.
of everything we've watched this
The
entire
Light
stream.
of Divinity Scepter skin, the Deliverance crossbow skin, the Justice flail skin, and the Redemption shield skin.
Wow, that shit looks so sick.
Once again, you'll have an accompanying kiwi, and of course a statue depicting one of the most iconic events in Rayclast's history. The battle between a powerful exile and Kitava, the Insatiable.
Dude.
With the help of
What?
two deities, Sin and Innocence, the exile was able to defeat him once and for all. This supporter pack also contains the Path of Exile 2 art book. This 215-page full-color art book includes a huge
250?
amount of amazing concept art and lore produced during the long and exciting journey of Path of Exile 2's development.
I gotta do it.
And
gotta do
finally,
it.
Path of Exile has a tradition of letting the community participate in designing game features. For Path of Exile 2, we'll be adding the Twilight Order Foil Reliquary.
What?
By becoming a Liberator of Rayclass supporter, once Path of Exile 2 is released, you will be able to select any unique item you have found and be able to drop it from the Reliquary. Once players have submitted their items, keys to the Reliquary will start dropping, and other players will be able to find foil versions of uniques that you have submitted along with a message for the lucky player.
What? Foil uniques? Dude, we're Pokemon now.
The more players submit the same unique, the more chances there will be for the Reliquary to drop them, so choose wisely. Now, almost all of these items are available to use in PoE 1 right now. There are a few exceptions where the item class clearly doesn't exist, such as crossbows or flails. And there are also a few microtransactions on weapon types that are unavailable in PoE 2 at the start of early access. Once classes that use those weapon types are added, those microtransactions will be available to use.
Okay.
If you can't decide which supporter pack to choose yet, you can always start with the early access supporter pack that just includes a key and some points to spend in the store. Then you can upgrade to any of the following tiers at a later date. These supporter packs will be available for purchase throughout early access. We'd really like to thank you for your ongoing support. Without you guys, Path of Exile 2 could not have happened. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Stick around, because coming up next, we have a live Q&A with Siggy D.
This is a whole different video. I'm not going to watch this on stream. I did not think I would spend 2 hours on stream watching this tonight.
Sir.
Where do I start, dude? Where do I start? I mean, that's Chris Wilson's idea. He's heavy into magic. That's a really cool idea, man. For final thoughts, first impressions. Dude, where do I start here, chat? Where do I start here? Yeah, dude. I have no idea where to start. I'm kind of blown away, to be completely honest. I am blown away. Yeah, I'm not kind of, I am completely blown away. I did not expect that much content. I did not expect that at all. I'm kind of speechless, man. I don't think I've ever seen a game reveal like that ever. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. They go so in depth, and like, not to its full potential. There's still so much that they did not tell us. Yeah, if you're not hyped, I don't know what to say. That completely blew my mind away. Unreal. I'm way more excited than I already was, and I was already very, very excited. I took 3 days off of work for the launch of this. I didn't take the Friday off. We all know launch issues. But the following week, after the weekend, I took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and I'm going to do nothing but play this game. Yep, I'm super, super, super excited for this. Yeah. Definitely not worried about running out of content and being done in a couple of weeks now. I was worried about that. Yeah, and you know what? They made a great design decision to switch up development and focus on the end game. That was, yeah, that is a 5-head play. Yeah, 200 IQ move by GGG. I think that is needed to keep the player base engaged. But yeah, I think that the way that they've done this is the best way that they could have done it. They are now going to have enough endgame content to keep us engaged. We're going to want to play other classes. I mean, come on, man. Look at all those. The classes alone, like Ascendancies aside, the classes alone look so much fun. But you add the Ascendancies onto it and the combinations you can do with the skill gems and then the Ascendancies on it. It's just like, wow, dude. It's just, yeah, I'm really, really excited. There's so much content, man. I wanted to play every single class, and then they showed the Ascendancies, and I wanted to play every single Ascendancy. There's this, yeah. You know what? And I will say this, because K-Machine and I had this conversation. I wasn't too sure about the Monk. The Monk looked kind of boring when they were showing it the other night. But then they showed it today, and wow, dude, the Monk looks so much fun. I just want to play them all. There's still 3 other acts, 6 more classes, 1 Ascendancy for the current classes, 3 total for each class, plus more endgame stuff. There's also going to be more story stuff, cinematics, and general polish, etc. Yeah, this is, yeah, unbelievable. Gear, nobody. I want to get at least a couple of games in tonight. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over this real quick here, guys. Actually, yeah, give me like 5 or 10 here, okay? Man, okay, I gotta like remember what has happened here. I don't have the video up on my screen here to do a timeline, and I probably wouldn't do that because it takes too long. But the opening cinematic looked incredible. Man, they really stepped up their game. I cannot wait to see more of those throughout the playthrough of the game. I hope there are actually quite a few of those. I'm curious as to how many there's going to be in the first 3 acts. The level design, man, even just like looking at the ground in some of the places looked phenomenal. Yeah, attention to detail all around. Huge kudos to them. Man, I was looking at items, like I wasn't even paying attention to what stats were on it. I was just looking at the artwork. Like, it's just, they've really stepped up their game. This is a whole other level past what I thought this was already gonna be. It's yeah, I'm very, very, very excited for this game. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? We're gonna have probably the best ARPG ever made. This might be the best RPG ever made. In general, I don't know. It's gonna come down to how this game plays. But man, this looks super promising. They have really outdone themselves. I'm kind of speechless. Like, I could go on forever about all this, and I will probably make a recap video for YouTube for sure once this all kind of settles down in my brain. But man, talk about, you know, information overload. Super, super, super crazy. Yeah, huge congrats to the GGG team. Man, just unbelievable. So much content available to us. I can wrap my head around it. I will more than likely do a final thoughts and a first impressions once everything kind of settles down in my head here. But initially, just super impressed. Blew my mind, blew my expectations out of the water. We're gonna have a game to play for a very, very long time. Expect a lot of PoE content on the channel. And yeah, I'll kind of leave it for there for now. Wow, yeah. Thank you guys for sitting through that. I hope that it has interested some of you guys, because man, if that didn't get you hyped up as an ARPG player or somebody that's wanted to get into ARPGs, man, like I don't know what will. That's just unbelievable. I can now go on social media and take a look at what everybody has posted. I bet you anything after tonight's stream, I will just be scrolling for a couple of hours to go through and see, like, you know, Ziggy D's, Ziz's, like, you know, just everybody. Crip, I want to know what Crip thinks about this, man. Crip's an OG. You know, I really enjoyed his D3 content and just, you know, how he pushes ARPGs. I'm really curious to hear his thoughts. I saw, like, Summit, Shroud, man, so many people watching this stream earlier. I was just flipping through the category. Just, man, this game is going to be massive. Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to play. The hype is real. The hype is here. You're going to be seeing every top content creator that isn't an FPS no life. Everybody else is going to be playing this game for the most part, man. Like, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait, man. I'm super, super excited. Yeah, that's it for PoE tonight. I'm going to leave it there, guys.